everybody. How are you today? Good? Are we good? Very good? It's nice to meet you. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is the D. Louise book series. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects going on here, except we do have some co-hosts. Some nice little co-hosts stopping by every once in a while. So, please don't forget to check out my Star Trek recaps on Fridays, Next Generation, my If Then on Fridays. If you like this author, then maybe you like that author. Also, every single Monday, Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. This one had 263. We haven't made it to this one yet. But you check out last week's Flashback Monday. I got a little carried away. Went 2 hours and did over 70 book reviews. So please check that out. Mystery, genre, historical, paranormal, harlequin, inspirational, contemporary, all 9 yards. All did them all. So anyways, and my daily book reviews. And that's what this is, my daily book review. I'm having a little trouble getting a hold of the next Patterson. So I jumped ahead and went to book 9 in the J.R. Ward Black Dagger Brotherhood series, Lover Unleashed. And this is a really good book. It's a bridge book. It's introducing new characters and bringing back some older characters. And I have to warn you, spoilers, 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 spoilers. Because I got chomped on one day and I'm like, I've got over close to 900 videos out there. And every last one of them is a spoiler. Spoiler, 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 spoiler. So anyways, before I get tired away making an absolute fool of myself, please hit the like and subscribe. I really could use likes and subscribes. And if you don't like, please don't do anything. If you know that saying, if you can't say something good, don't say something at all. Because one thumbs down can kill your analytics completely. Will wipe out 50% of your thing. I don't know why, but that's what happens. And have mercy on a person whose computer is being held together by a binder clip. I think I've mentioned this before. The bottom fell out of the laptop, and it's just being held together by a binder. But it still works. So hey, what can you do? And I've been trying to find a new one. And I've got this complex thingy going on. Let's hypothetically say $5. Just call it $5. If I spend that $5 on a new laptop, what happens if an unexpected bill comes? Or what happens if something breaks, or a car breaks, or this happens, or that happens? I'm really, because you're on a strict budget, and if you splurge on a luxury item, I've got this if-then good. It's this. Anyways, let's get back to the book, shall we? Book 9 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood book series. And we're getting some new characters. This is going to give several new books later on in the series. We're going to see a little less of the brothers as we were used to seeing. And we're going to get an introduction to more of the other side and to other characters. So in the last book, I wanted to read, and I looked it up. Because I brought my favorite mag here. So we'll just read a little bit of it. Lover Unleashed got 4.5 stars. The dysfunctional and abusive upbringing of siblings Vicious and Payne has scarred them emotionally and physically. In Ward's latest Black Dagger Brotherhood offering, she tackles the lingering effects of this abuse, which makes this story graphic, dark, and disturbing. As Ward doesn't hesitate for a second to explore the extreme highs and lows of human behavior, her novels renaissance with a darkly edge. And having escaped their prison mother, the scribe virgin kept her in pain, has joined her brother Vicious in the modern world. However, Payne was in a fight with Wrath. She was just sparring with Wrath. And she breaks her spine. So, the only way to save the scribe virgin, for whatever reason, can't heal her daughter, whether her daughter is so angry with her that her daughter refuses her to let her fix her, or for other metaphysical reasons. My computer is shaking because someone is rubbing themselves all over it. And think all the nasty thoughts you will, but it's the gray person we just saw a minute ago. Come here. Come here, gray person. Come here. Come here. There's your gray person. So for whatever reason, whether it's in Payne's mind or her mom's mind or whatever the juncture is going on, she's unable to heal Payne. So they bring Payne over to the other side, to the Earth side, and Jane decides that the only way to fix her is to have Manny operate. And so she's got to reveal herself to Manny and explain to Manny what happened, because Manny was in love with her and totally believes that she is deceased, which technically she is, because Jane is a ghost. She can be silent enough for so much time, and then she can fade out also for so much time. So we get this new Manny is, well, the book starts with a new character, Zokor. He's going to be a new character, and he's going to be a new prominent character, and he will eventually get his own book. And all his members will get their own book. Apparently, there was more brothers to begin with, way back when. And let's just hypothetically just say there was 16 or 10 or 12. And there was a dispute or an issue or a problem that came up that you can read for yourself. And they split, and they were disallowed from the Brotherhood. They were kicked out of the Brotherhood. And they formed their own band of brothers, a different brand, a separate brand from the Brotherhood. And they, too, fought the Lessers. They did it differently than the Black Dagger Brotherhood group, but they had their own way of doing things. And when they do this stuff, and if they do it back in Caldwell, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, the other side knows exactly who did that. So we're getting this introduction of this new future sort of kind of brother who used to be a brother but was kicked out for stuff. And he totally, absolutely believes this guy. And it's later fixed and it's later corrected. But he totally, absolutely believes that the bloodletter, who was Vicious's father and Payne's father, was also his father. And he was totally, the guy told him this when he was a little kid. The little kid believed him. He is later corrected on that. But up until this point, he has spent his life and the last 300 years trying to find Payne, because she was the one that kills, and it's revealed here, she was the one that killed the bloodletter that finally had enough because of all the stuff he did to Vicious, because he was Vicious's father, and he was Payne's father. The scribe virgin wanted a kid. She made a deal with the devil, the worst absolute person in the entire world she could have made a deal with, and she held up her part of the bargain, and the bloodletter tortured the crap out of his kid and neutered him in the whole 9 yards. So it's just, Payne was like, how could her mother do this? She's very angry at her mother for doing this. Her mother could have chosen a gazillion different people to be the parent of her child. But no, she had to choose a killer, a severe killer that would not only kill everybody, but also kill his kids. So what was the point? Why did you have kids with this guy if you knew that he was going to torture and beat and harass and do horrible things to your kids? Sky Virgin, you made a horrible choice. Absolutely horrible choice. Disgusting choice. But she made the choice. And then she's like, I'm living up to my code, what I said I would do. And the kids are like, yeah, you watched us suffer. You watched us get whipped. You watched him do all this stuff, and you did nothing. Well, because I said I wouldn't. Evil should not win. Evil should not win. Although, go check out Kenyon's books. We'll be doing hers later on in the year. And if you want to talk abused and harassed and tortured, that would be Asheron. Because this folks, the people would go, here, eat this cheese, put it right here. And they'd leave that cheese there. But then if he waited too long, or if he took it too quickly, or if he ate it too fast, they would find whatever reason. Or if he didn't ask before he did it, they would beat the crap out of him and not let him have the cheese. It's just, Asheron's childhood is just, ugh. It's one of the worst, absolute worst. That's why I always tell people, if you read that book and you want your heart ripped out and you enjoy getting your heart ripped out, go ahead. Read the whole book all the time. If you're one of those people who don't like your heart ripped out, read the whole book once, and then on your read through, start a part 2. Start in the modern day. But there are people out there, and I've seen you on Facebook. Please give me a book that'll destroy my heart and make me cry my brains out. I don't want books that make me cry. I want books to give me escape. I want enjoyment from my books. I want enjoyment from my stories. So anyways, back to our story here. So Zokor is totally convinced that the bloodletter is his father. And they do this thing. Once the bloodletter is killed, Zokor stands up and decides that he's going to be the leader since he is the bloodletter's son. So he believes. He's not. But like I said, he believes this. Hear this now, for I shall utter it but once. No one is to say a thing. My father died in battle with the enemy. I burned him to pay homage and keep him with me. Swear this to me now. The bastards he had long lived and fought with so vowed. And after their deep voices drifted away on the night, Zokor leaned down and raked his fingers through the ashes. Raising his hands to his face, he streaked the sooty marking from his cheeks to his thick veins that ran up either side of his neck. Then he palmed the bony skull that was all that was left of his father. Holding the streaming charred remains aloft, he claimed the soldiers before him as his own. I am your sole liege now. Bind yourselves unto me at this moment, or thou art mine enemy. What say you all? There was a nary hesitation. The males sat upon bended knee, taking out their daggers and thrusting forth with a war cry before burying the blades in the earth at his feet. Zokor stared at their bowed heads and felt mantle fall upon his shoulders. The bloodletter was dead, no longer living. He was a legend starting this night. And as is right and proper, the son now stepped into the souls of his sire, commanding these soldiers who would serve not wrath, the king who would not rule, nor the brotherhood who would not deign to lower themselves to this level. but Zokor and Zokor alone. We go in the direction from whence the female came, he announced. We shall find her even if it takes centuries, and she shall pay for what she has wrought this night. And of course, Payne goes back to the other side, and he never sees her again until this book, till this time. Then we catch up with Jane, who has to try and find Manny. And she's looking for Manny at his apartment. She's looking for Manny at the hospital. She's looking for him all over the place, and she cannot find him. Manny is at the racetrack watching his horse run the race. No one knows that Manny had a horse and that he was watching her race. And an evil person purposely slam dunks his horse, and she breaks her legs. And so Manny is grieving the horse. He demands that she be taken to the veterinary hospital and that they operate, and they do what they can, and you're left like they have her suspended and they fix her leg, but it's not. There's pieces missing and there's a whole bunch of issues there. And Manny's trying to avoid the inevitable. He's very sad about that. At the same time, he decides he needs some soul searching, and he goes to Jane's grave. He had it done. There was no body from the wreckage to be found, and he had it done so there was some place he could come and honor her and talk to her. And so he's at her grave, and he is talking to the tombstone when she shows up. And he gets really pissed off at her. I thought you were dead. I was in love with you. All this kind of stuff, and they have it out. And during this time also, V is having a difficult time with this situation with Payne. Payne, rightfully so, in her position. Now, we have to remember that Payne has lived on the other side, and she's lived like this. She only knows the space here. She doesn't know the world. And she is, now that she's paralyzed, she doesn't know about wheelchairs. She doesn't know about physical therapy. She doesn't know about crutches. She doesn't know about anything like that. And nobody in her surroundings occurs to them to do all this stuff for her. So because she's just laying in this bed for a week, she wants to just end it. So she asked V, because she cannot move, blah, blah, blah. No one thought to give her a book. No one thought to bring in a TV, introduce a computer to the girl, or a wheelchair, or crutches, nothing. They let the poor girl sit or lie in this bed and think. So she asked V that if these things don't go well with Manny, because Jane's been trying to find him, that he end her. And he agreed to end her. And he's having some mental issues with this decision. And then, of course, Jane gets involved, and V gets mad at Jane. They almost end their relationship because Payne convinces Jane that she should be the one to do this to end Payne, because she doesn't want her brother to have to live with this for the rest of his life. And Jane doesn't want Vicious to have to live with this the rest of his life. So, anyway, during this whole time that Payne has just been laying in this bed, her and Manny have been having erotic dreams. They've been sharing dreams and stuff, so they've been getting close that way. But Manny's memories have been erased. So they fixed because Manny was there previously for her surgery. And now she's been laying in this bed and she's still not walking. Nothing has been done. And they just left her in this bed. like I said, no TV, no computer, nothing. None of them even thought of it. So they bring Manny back, and they fall in love, and they have moments. He talks to her. He shows her the computer. He shows her guys in wheelchairs. He goes, this guy's mayor of the town. He's in a wheelchair. There's a life out there. And they fall in love. They get active, whatever. And it's Manny's love and Manny's attention and Manny's all this stuff that all of a sudden Payne gets feeling back in her legs and she starts walking again. And it's a mirror. It's all because Manny's love and Manny's attention and Manny's showing her the world. And during this time, V is still having this stuff going on in her head. And he's all happy now that his sister is walking and stuff. V's all good that his sister is walking again. But he still got it in his head that Jane was going to do this for him so he didn't have to do this. And he's just totally, absolutely, he's ignoring Jane. He's sleeping with her at night, but only when she's asleep, so she doesn't know he's actually been there. And there's this wall coming, and she's going to move out, and they're separating, and there's all this stuff going on. And so I think if it had been in a few books earlier, or if it had been for a I don't know, mischievous or a slyness or I don't know, a more of a lighter. I think some people wanted this, but not this way. You kind of all these books, 9 books, there's been this temptation, this connection between Butch and V. And we've wanted this connection, and we've enjoyed their repartee back and forth. And Butch is just being able to say anything to V, and V just lets him get away with it. So, because V is loyal to Jane and will not be with any female but Jane, and he had been away for a night, and he won't tell Jane what he did. So after a certain amount of time, Butch tells Jane what he did, and that he ended up fighting with lessers, and he let the lessers beat the crap out of him because he just needed this. V needs this, has this times of depression where he wants to be hurt, but he's not going to hurt himself. He wants other people to hurt him. And so he has Butch be his therapist, and Butch does a real number on him, and V makes Butch do a real number on him. And like I said, if it had been done as a lighter moment or an easier moment, it might have been, I don't know. But because it was done very, very seriously, very, very, I depressed, I need to be punished, I want you to punish me atmosphere, it was really sad on that part. So on the other side of it, we have the lessers are growing in number, and they're growing in number very quickly. And the brothers need help. And Zokor and his group of guys are now in the United States. They spent most of their time in Europe. Now they have moved to the United States, and they know of all the glymera being killed because of Lash. And they are contacting the glymera and telling the glymera, this is the ruling council of the vampires, that they can do a better job than the brothers, and they will protect the glymera, not the brothers. And Zokor wants to be the new king, not Wrath. So there's a coup coming on here too. So the brothers are dealing with the coup. Then we've got the Manny and Payne situation. And after some discussion, it's agreed that Payne and Manny can get together. And because Manny is let go from his hospital position, because of all the stuff that happened, because of the vampire wipe, he's free to start up a hospital in the Brotherhood. But he doesn't know this when Payne comes to see him. And he's like, in that if you love them, you'll set them free. So he sets Payne free mode. Payne then goes into fight the Lessers to work off her grievance, just like her brother would. And Zokor and his men kidnap her. And that's when she puts her foot down and says, I am a chosen, and this is what happened, and this is who you are. And they believe her. And at this point, V and all them don't know that Payne has handled herself. We are also seeing, and there is also a serial killer on the loose. And that's another side story that's going to continue for the next couple books. I'm waiting for and I know it's going to happen. It just, I thought it was this book, but it wasn't. For Manuel to Jose de la Cruz to see Butch again, because Butch was his partner with the police, and they are currently investigating a serial killer. Somebody takes does stuff to people. It's disgusting. So you'll have to read the book to see if Payne gets free after she puts her foot down and tells these guys the who, what, and where. And what happens with Manny's horse. I'll leave that to you to read. And I hope you enjoyed this book. I hope you're reading the series with me. And I hope you will join me in my binge reading with the next one, Lover Reborn. And our next, Victoria Thompson, Murder on St. Nicholas Street, with Sarah and Frank now married. And I'm still waiting on Alex Cross. I need to get that Alex Cross done. Don't forget recaps on Fridays for Star Trek. Don't forget If Thens on Fridays. And if you haven't watched the If Thens or you haven't watched Flashback Monday, please go back and check those out. I work so hard on those. I gather up all these different books and review all these different books and recommend all these different authors to you. It's a unique way to find some new authors, and nobody else does it. So please check it out, and please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you.